Hi guys, how are you? I was sharing the link because not everybody gets notified. So, my thing is like all messed up here. Okay, I'm telling you, they're trying to shut me down. My phone completely shut off. There's been internet issues all day too, and some of my readings aren't even mailing out. So I don't know what to say about it. um, so yeah, heavily monitored, you guys. The artificial intelligence is trying to take hold on everything right now. That's kind of what's going on, including you, including you. So basically, you guys, the artificial intelligence the last few days has been like extremely um, heavy, trying to get a grasp on you and fuck you up because I feel like it's gonna have a major reset. So it's like, oh, let's get everybody like hooked on it and feed it and da da da. I don't know how to explain it, but it tried to hook in me like every single night for like 5 days heavily. So, um, yeah, you guys might be going through that, like attacks in your sleep or, um, I don't know what's going on, but when we do readings lately, there's a lot of fatigue with a lot of you, like exhaustion, where we almost like fall asleep. So I think a lot of you are going through some really strong exhaustion or whatever. I don't know. Um, yeah. So tomorrow, I know everybody's been talking about tomorrow, but I didn't want people to be fixated on only the 11th and not pay attention to anything in between because there's been a lot of important shifts since the 21st. And I feel like if people get fixated on certain dates, they kind of forget, about everything in between. And they just sit and dwell on that. So I'm like, don't sit and worry about, 111. Okay. So everything right now, you guys, is like a massive distraction, is how I feel. So, just don't dwell too much on a certain like outcome or what's going to happen because honestly you guys, we don't exactly know. Okay, and there's like all these people that think they're responsible for the matrix and they're responsible for these massive shifts and they're god and all this shit, you guys, whatever. I mean, I feel like we're all individually responsible and add to it, but I don't feel like there's like one person walking this earth that's fully responsible for everything and they're gonna make the big old change in this world. Like, that's just a bit delusional. But whatever. So I'm not telling you how to, you know, praise if that's your story. But you guys, the whole Christ thing is absolutely out of control the last few days. Like, out of control. Okay, the Antichrist is coming. But then Christ is coming because Christ is going to force you to repent your sins. And Christ is going to come to Jerusalem and force you to sacrifice. Okay. No. What, I mean, maybe there will be something like that or somebody posing as that. I don't know, whatever. You guys, it's the person in the mirror. All right. Let's just be real about that. That's the rebirth of the Christ conscious. Okay? Look in the mirror. And um that's who you're rebirthing. Don't just like dwell on like being saved. You know what I'm saying? Look in the mirror. That's who's gonna save you. That's Christ coming to save you. Is the rebirth and the healing of your original DNA and the healing of your family lineage and the karmic cycles. You didn't go through all this for somebody to come down here and punish you for everything you did wrong. You didn't go through this hell and pain to be more severely punished and live in fear you're going to be punished, or am I going to be chosen? I'm going to choose yourself. Fuck this shit. I'm just done listening to it. It's so stupid. So stupid. Um okay, so you know what the one world government is? It's every single thing ran under a dictation, coming together and controlling. Do you understand that? Okay, it's all that together. Your dictation of Christ, or allowing God or Christ or a Messiah or Buddha or whatever you call your God, and if you're running under the dictation and all those rules, and that's who's coming to save you, the government and all that, like, they run in parallel. Okay, they're trying to get everybody to follow a dictation of some sort, to fight about it, to attack each other. Um, I don't really care about stubborn masculines, you guys, because that's not for you to worry about, because they have free will. All right. Um, Worry about the masculine energy inside of you. Anyways, so it's just all these dictations are trying to get control of your life, trying to get you scared and fearful and worried that you're not going to make it, and worried that you're going to basically be sacrificed and all this shit, you guys. Like, anything running under a system or under a matrix or anything like that is seriously not healthy at this point, I don't feel. Do what you want. You have free will too. So if you want to believe that Christ is coming to save you, that's fine. But as far as I'm concerned, look in the mirror, because that's who's saving you. Okay? It's all just bait to me. It's all just bait. And let me guess, like, the same day that Christ is coming to save you is the same day as the president's supposed to sit in their office. Okay? So at this point, you guys, you cannot poke and pry at anybody to awaken. You cannot force anybody to awaken. You can't force anybody to change their thoughts. You can plant seeds, that's it. That is where these twin flames, twin games anymore, you guys, as far as I'm concerned, it's so fucked up anymore, has just been hijacked in distortion. Because it's setting up for codependency, control, all of that stuff. It just is. It's setting you up to be held back. It's setting you up to walk into the new world order. These connections are the way it has been taught. It's setting you up to sit and wait and not embrace the rebirth of yourself. Okay, I'm just going to be real about that. If you keep following this shit and want to control somebody else's, awakening or somebody else's outcome, you're just going to hold yourself back in the long run. You're just going to stand in that path and sit and wait. You're free. You're free. What are you waiting for? Why do you, you guys, we're going through a reset. Basically, a rebirth of yourself. Why does that all depend on somebody else? Okay, why does that all depend on somebody coming into union with you from your old life? Okay, because you have no control over that. All right, bring your wisdom from the old life, just like you're supposed to when you're reborn. Okay, when you reincarnate, but they've hidden so much of that from us to fuck us up and trick us and get us to follow rotten paths over and over again. And now they're trying to do it again by tricking us that Christ is going to come down and punish you for being a fuck up in this life. And then you're not going to make it. No. I'm so fucking sick of it. Okay, I'm just so fucking sick of it. And then there was comments like, oh, you just wait, he's coming to repent you. You guys, you've already been repenting all year. Okay? Newsflash. Most of you have been sitting in repent all year long. Like, for on and off. I mean, you go out, you come in, you go, whatever. If you end your habits, end your cycles, forgive yourself, because we're all victims of this bullshit. Getting lured into this artificial intelligence, getting lured into this false bullshit, getting lured into an outcome that doesn't exist to do horrible things, okay? Every single person in this chat here today has fucked up, all right? So enough with the Christ and the Antichrist shit. You know what, you guys? I think they're pretty much the same person, if you want the truth. Okay, if Christ can come down and make you punish for your sins, then well, what's the Antichrist? Okay, like, come on. It's just getting out of control. Just don't even bother, like, getting so scared of that, because I have felt a cord try to implant in me twice in the last 4 days to follow the Christ shit. Okay, I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. And there's some people that aren't Christian, so what are they supposed to follow? You know what I'm saying? It's dumb. It's just dumb. Sorry. Yeah. SK, are you Sarah? I'm not real sure. Yeah, there's no rules. There's no rules. Absolutely no rules for being free. None. There is so many people in my collective that have manifested amazing soul connections that are above and beyond what they ever anticipated, and they're afraid because you know why? Because they're wounded energy. Because a healed man or woman that's really healed and coming in to love you and to be that alpha male or be that support system or to help you, protect you, whatever, comes in and they are everything that you were promised in these connections. Okay, a lot of you don't even really know if you want it right now because it's fearful. It's fearful. And I do feel like the energy is energy, you guys. There's more than one version of a lot of people. Okay, and some of these people, they're like, okay, this dude that came in is the same zodiac sign, you know, looks similar, it just more improved version, you guys. Like, what did I tell you? Energy transfers, okay? And as these people stay in the dark timeline, you guys, and as we keep moving forward and evolving in humanity, they give up their light. They give it up. And I feel like a lot of it's going to be gifted to other people instead that are going to utilize it, you know, in a good way. So, like I said, I had that vision last year where I saw light bodies transferring to other bodies. And people are like, oh, you're not. That's totally ego to think that that is not possible. Because energy is energy. It really is. Every single thing we touch, this card is energy. Okay. So, to think that's not possible, yeah. Okay, it is possible, and we're programmed as hell, you guys. We're so programmed, it's unreal. Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing, children, you guys. I know there's some people that, you know, I've kind of picked up that they're trying to get pregnant and even trick into pregnancy, which I'm like, don't, because if somebody has a whole buttload of karma or they're in a very toxic place, or you know, conceive a child when you're both in a very low vibrational energy, sorry, or still very AI ran or hijacked, you guys, that does go down into the child. It does. Okay. So my two older children have more karma to clear, for example, than my last one and this one will. Okay, because I was more healed when I had Freya, and this one is a whole other ballgame. Okay, it does affect, yeah. And when two awakened people have a child together, that's pretty powerful. All right, so it does affect, yes. You do pass on your damaged DNA to your children, and then as you heal your DNA, which is what we've been working on for how long, the children that you birth with that individual that also healed their DNA are going to be very, very pure bloodline, basically. New souls, people call them. I just feel like they're clean souls, so to speak. You know, not coming with a bunch of attachments right away, you know, that sort of thing. So, yeah, it does make a difference. And I know there's women out there that had kids with some of these toxic masculines, and some of these children may have some stuff to clear out of them because of it. Okay, be it the family ancestral patterns if the masculine doesn't do it. Okay, if that makes sense. So That's why some of these women, like, okay, I'm kind of picking up somebody who's trying to get, pregnant here. Like, I'm just not doing this with this individual. And some of these, some of these connections, this is how I feel. So it's up to you how you feel. I don't care how you feel. This is what I picked up. Do have alien AI stuff behind it, and draw people together strictly to cross the bloodlines and not heal the DNA. Okay, I really do feel that, and I believe it. And it's not segregating or being racist or anything like that, or anything. It's not. It's just that there is something to bloodlines. There's something to bloodlines, and it's coming together more and more to me every single day. Okay, it has nothing to do with who you are, what you've been, your mistakes, nothing like that. It's about the healed DNA and the bloodlines behind it, because you're basically going back to your original ancestor DNA and that sort of thing. Okay. And there's gonna be new kids born. Okay, there's gonna be new kids born, because we're kind of weeding out some of the damaged DNA. Because some people had the opportunity, or have been having the opportunity, to heal their DNA. But for one, they don't believe they can do it. They made the choice not to do it, which is majorly part of what awakening is healing your DNA. Okay. And they chose not to, or they just refused to believe it. And I wrote a post today about autoimmune diseases. I believe the AI is behind a lot of them. I really do. 1 in 3 people have one. Come on, like, it's a little excessive. And I really believe that if you heal your DNA and heal who you are and believe in it, that you can, expel a lot of the side effects of the autoimmunities. I really believe that. Okay, but people don't want to believe that. And even with diabetes, you guys, I have a couple clients that have type 1, and they're using less and less insulin, and they're just like, what's going on? And I'm like, it's probably some of your DNA healing. Just believe in it and trust the process. So if you don't want to believe in it, it's not going to work. No, I don't believe in 5D marriages. I think that's a crock of shit. I just don't. Sorry. I mean, believe in what you want. I just don't. No. It's just stupid. Let's see what else. If you're bound to somebody else, even in the other dimensions, you guys, where's your free will then? Where's your freedom? You know what I'm saying? We have free will, but we don't at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because as far as like we don't have free will, that's more or less like if you follow the artificial intelligence program, or the program you keep on with that, then you're kind of giving up your free will, because you're saying that somebody else has control over your free will. So if you believe that in the other dimensions that you're bound to another soul, then you're basically saying, I don't have free will to be free because I'm connected to somebody else, and my whole existence is, revolving around somebody else. Okay. And also, you guys, a lot of times there is third energies involved in these connections, and I see it a lot when I read. There's other readers that are according to you and this other individual. I don't think they even know they're doing it. It's part of the false light thing. Bryce, if you don't believe in what I'm saying, you can get out of here, because I'm not going to sit and fucking argue. All right? Destiny is not supposed to be controlled. Okay? Actually, no, he can just get out. He's sat in here and argued before. I'm not in the mood for this shit. Not. You cannot control somebody else's destiny. All right? So, where was I going with this? That shit just distracts me and pisses me off. Arguing on my fucking channel. Get out. Ugh. Find somebody else to poke at, or that gives you your fairy tale destiny story that controls other people. Okay? Anyway, I've noticed other readers connected between the two energies when I've done readings. So sometimes I feel like the devices get put between people, and then the other reader feeds through that, you guys, and gains energy off it, and then it expands out in like a webbing to other individuals. So pretty soon that's how your soul gets fragmented as well. Okay, it's totally become an energy siphoning operation. and taken away from the foundation of divine connections. Which divine connection, you guys, is two sovereign individuals that come together, and that's how the third energy is created, is the power between two sovereign individuals, not two half of a soul, okay? Not two hijacked individuals, okay? Well, yeah, there is something to a spiritual marriage, you guys, but some of these people believe that a sleeping individual in basically a body on earth, that their soul, they're in this fantasy land of this Cinderella shit in the 5D, and they float around together and have this like astral or 5D, whatever the shit, I don't know. I've never really grasped it very well, because I only trust energy in my energy that I know they're awake and they're aware, that they're, you know, telepathically communicating with me or whatever. You know, I don't want random energies that their body is sitting here asleep. It doesn't make sense to me. It never did. And I've seen in readings, some of the feminines have the masculines chained to them. Okay, and they're like literally their soul's sitting there and they have that masculine soul chained to them, and there's AI devices all over that shit. I don't believe in it, but I feel like it's manifested with them thinking that that's what's going on. But they're blinded with these devices, so they see this beautiful, amazing, you know, gold cord between them, this beautiful, amazing 5D marriage or whatever, to this masculine that's like drinking beer and playing Xbox in this, you know, in this world. And it just never really made sense, okay? And some of my other clients are the same way. They're like, I just can't grasp it. You know, I just can't buy into that. So it's just, all of this stuff just, it takes away from divine connections. It's energy siphoning operation. All right. Your twin flame is in yourself. I really, really strongly believe that more and more every single day. Okay, it's healing yourself. It's putting your soul pieces back together. It's finding your masculine, feminine energy and having that balance inside of yourself so you can be a sovereign person. There's your twin flame. Okay, your divine counterpart is somebody who's done the same, basically. You get what I'm saying? Could it be this person? Sure. Anything is possible. Nothing's promised. You're not promised to be alive tomorrow. Okay, so you can't control somebody else's destiny. You know, that's why people want to argue. They're just like, yeah, I don't have time for people that want to sit and argue. I don't. I'm not going to sit and explain. Okay. If you don't want to follow what I'm speaking, that's fine. That's on you. I don't really care. Okay. That's totally on you. Your choices are your free will. Just like people that want to take this vaccination. I'm cool, you know, good luck to you. And I think they're quite shocked when I say that, because they want me to argue with them, you know, and then they try to poke at me and shit. And I'm just like, it's your choice, dude. Well, blah, 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 like trying to explain themselves as to why. And I'm like, why do you need to explain yourself if you're confident in your decision? So when people try to argue with me, it's like, why do you have to keep poking and prying when you're confident in your decision? It just doesn't add up to me. So yeah, there's some people that only watch me, and that's that's pretty cool, actually. But, you know, I'm not telling you what to do, but I know it can get really confusing if you overwatch videos. Like for me, I like to watch some of the videos with the predictions of what's coming with this, you know, whole reset and everything. And I notice if I watch too many of them, I'm like, I can feel cords, you know, especially if they start bringing up Christ for some reason. The whole Christ thing, like, tries to implant cords on me. So it makes me feel it's a dictation. Because maybe I'm starting to believe it a little bit or question it. All of a sudden I can feel cord. I'm like, no. Don't do this. Don't do this. So see, some people, okay, what I asked, you know, what is going on in the collective energy with, you know, the reset tomorrow? I feel like some of you, you know, there's a lack of hope here because some of you have been strictly just waiting. Some of you have procrastinated is what I'm hearing. Okay, some of you are just waiting. People are waiting. They're waiting for a savior is what I'm hearing. I understand this, okay? And we've been programmed to look up to a dictation since we were born. So to actually claim to be sovereign, you guys, it's a huge step, okay? Because you're always looking for an answer. People are looking for answers and they're losing hope, is what I'm hearing, okay? They're losing hope. You guys, there's been so many dictations out there that have just kept us strictly distracted. QAnon, there's some things they say that I do believe in, but very little, because a lot of it was just a distraction. I couldn't get myself to get into it. I couldn't get myself to, you know, read their blogs, even that sort of thing, but I understood the concept of some of it, right? Just like I understand the concept of some of the New Age liberal and what they're fighting for. They are fighting for freedom of all kinds, okay? But they just don't understand the hijack behind it and what they're actually doing, which that's going to start coming to surface, okay? But QAnon is the same. They're going on about Christ too, coming and saving, okay? They're, you know, looking towards Trump as their savior in Christ. I don't look at anybody like that. I have my feel that every single leader is planting, you know, some of the leaders, not all of them, are planting seeds to wake us up and having dark agenda as well, which it is about balance, because if you're a leader, you also have the understanding that not everybody's going to wake up. Like, that's something I accepted and understood a long time ago, okay, is that I can't force anything. I can't, you know, but I do demand boundaries with people. I do ask to be given respect, okay, and if I'm not given respect, then I don't have time for you. You know, I'm not going to sit and feed that. So, I'm not asking to be praised. I'm not asking like any of that. But I just have an understanding to the darker side to things. And I have an understanding that, you know, with love for humanity, that I have to accept that. Okay? So I don't follow any particular leader. But people call me a Trump lover because I don't want to follow the liberal stuff. I'm not following him. I don't even watch anything about him. Okay? But I do know that some things he says do plant seeds. And some things he says are stuff that I've already said before. So it's kind of weird. But I'm not idling him by any means. I don't trust him. You know? Yeah, people are going to start getting instant karma when they're in the ego really bad. Yeah, the whole twin flame thing, it's been so hijacked. Like, me and my husband are like, okay, the term is even annoying anymore. You know? But I'm glad I discovered it, because I feel like it helped a lot of people get out of the dictation. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't regret discovering the term. So, and people have more understanding. Some of you are like losing hope that deception is going to be revealed, or that anything's going to be revealed, or anything's going to happen. Some of you are being deceived by outside forces right now. Some of you are following a dictation. Okay, that's what I'm picking up with the Seven of Swords here. With this whole world, it doesn't have to be just in collective worldwide. Okay. But I feel like that the dictation that's running us, the flaws behind it, is they have to surrender their fight to try to get some of you lured in, because it's not going to work. Because some of you are like, no, I'm not buying that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to follow this garbage. Okay, that's what I'm seeing going on with tomorrow. This is going to go slower than some of you think. So it's going to be like a bit of hesitancy. Some of you tomorrow, what I'm picking up, you guys, is you're going to feel like you're being tricked. You're going to have people coming in trying to install fear. Okay, I would suggest just not engaging in social media a real lot. Just refrain from news. News is going to be wild the next couple weeks. Okay, just refrain. It's really not going to matter when you're claiming a sovereign human anyways. It's not. Okay, the news is going to be exposed, because the news is a big fucking liar. And the news plants seeds to get you to manifest the realities that they're putting out. They're going to prey on your fears. Everything's going to prey on your fears. They're going to prey on your emotions. They're going to try to stop you from moving forward. They're going to try to stop you from freeing. But I see a lot of you are going to free yourself anyways. You're going to free yourself from deception. Okay, tomorrow with the reset, a lot of you are going to be like, okay, I'm not participating in this. Because there's going to be so many lures out there and seeds planted. Honestly, guys, I probably won't be by my phone a real lot. Because I know it's going to be insane. I do feel like the internet may go down. I do feel like communications may come to a halt possibly here. It doesn't mean it's going to stop. Okay, but I do feel like there's just going to be a lot of fears on communication. They want you to think that you're being targeted. Okay, they're going to want you to think that. They're going to want you to think that you're going to be punished. Okay, that is what I'm hearing. Okay, you do not have to be pure. You do not have to be perfect. Like I've said a million times, you weren't born here to be perfect. You were born here to fuck up and learn. Okay. A lot of you're going to free yourself after tomorrow. Okay. And you're going to stand in your power. Have boundaries with your power is what I'm hearing. Do not let people pull at your heart space. Do not let people play you. Okay. Because I see an ending for some of you. There's going to be an ending to some really harsh pain for you. Okay. And there's going to be an ending to cycles here, you guys. And for some of you, like all this healing that you've done, all this is, everything that you've done and everything like that, it's going to start coming to make sense after tomorrow. Okay. Oh, okay, so what I've known for how long, or, that sort of thing is like making sense now. All these tests that I had are making sense now. Okay, you were not thrown through the ringer 10 million times this year for nothing. You already did a lot of your repenting, you guys. Okay, so don't be fooled by that. That's just to try to get you to give up. Okay, it really is. You guys could be in repent right now. Like your soul is in another dimension, you guys. Your soul isn't... People think it's like in your body, not necessarily. Kind of, but not really. Depends on how aligned you are. Blocks are coming down. Blocks are coming down to you moving forward. Endings are taking place. Okay? That's what I'm seeing. Blinders coming off. Everything is going to be just transparent. Okay, if this connection is worth your time, it'll show. It'll show. I mean, be prepared, you guys, because there's going to be some internet outages as well. Honestly, you know what? If the internet shuts down, it'd probably be for the best. Because people are going to literally, like, want to kill each other over the internet, which is fucked up. By the way, this is for entertainment purposes only. Forgot to say that at the beginning. Alright. So, I'm going to see what the feminine energy is going to be experiencing after tomorrow. Viewers, it's going to be most of you. Yeah, it's going to be the AI. I feel there's going to be like a shutdown or something like that. The system is going to malfunction a lot. If the internet continues, there's going to be malfunction left and right at hospitals, at government buildings. That's what I feel right now. Anything Matrix ran, you guys, because it needs to. It needs to. We have been too reliant on this system to keep us alive. That's where, everyone's diagnosed with all these disorders, all these disabilities now, all these issues, and then they start manifesting, these situations to be worse and worse and worse, because I do feel our mind affects our health, our physical health, okay? And then pretty soon we're on all these pills, we're on all these meds, we're on all these treatments, and then we have mental problems and depression and trauma, yada, yada, yada. You get what I'm saying. And we're so warped and reliant on the system. Now I see the last 2 years, of me getting healthier and stronger. An awful lot of my pills has benefited me. Now I see why. Okay, it's making sense more and more every day. Because I slowly was getting off things just naturally, you know. That's why a lot of what we've done. And then I always had people coming in trying to lure me into the darkness. Okay? And prey on my wounded energy. And that's where a lot of us made mistakes and fuck ups is that wounded energy being preyed on. Okay? And trying to fill those voids, you know, the wounded energy, the childhood, the wounded child, the wounded past lives that we didn't remember. Okay, the fuck ups we didn't remember. And other people would come in and dangle carrots. Okay, of wherever, like with money, with, you know, whatever, with these connections you're dealing with, dangling carrots. So we all were grabbing these and filling these wounds in that we weren't facing. Okay, and a lot of us, I mean, we're not perfect, you know, but we're 90 to 99% sovereign, I would say, you know, as far as healing goes, because there's always that leeway, whatever. So they're coming in and trying to scare you from claiming to be sovereign. Christ is coming to judge you. You judge yourself. You bring your own karma in with the guilt that you have behind your actions. Okay, truth be told. Let's speak. Alright, let's speak about that. That's why, you know, you guys, when you do stuff to somebody and you know it's justified, you don't get karma for it because you know you did something that's justified. Because your mind isn't manifesting that karma. Your mind isn't, you know, holding that wounded energy of the guilt to bring it back to you. Okay? You get what I'm saying? I'm still working on getting off like one med that helps me sleep at night, and it's really tough when I'm pregnant because I get so restless, and I'm on such a small dose that it'll happen eventually here. I get really bad anxiety when I'm pregnant. It's just something I've had every one of them. Alright, feminine energy. You guys are going to have victory. You're going to have victory. You guys, you do have good luck running on your side. It's very clear to me. Your work's coming back toward you. That's what I'm seeing. Do I need to even read anymore? Okay, stand up for what you believe in, you guys, because you're going to get tempted to go back to old ways, is what I'm hearing. You're going to get tempted to self-punish. You're going to get tempted to punish yourself. You're going to get tempted back to the old timeline. Same shit. Okay. Speak for yourself. Speak up. Speak up. That's what I'm hearing, feminine. You guys, you know, you guys are such a huge part of the balancing act of this whole world. Okay? It's not just you, but you're having such an impact on other individuals, you guys, as that you're gonna be celebrating. A lot of you tomorrow, you know, it sounds frightening because everyone's like, oh my god, because they haven't done a fucking thing. They've been holding on to expectations. They've been holding on to this connection. You know, they've been holding on to whatever. And they're freaking out. But a lot of you, you're going to have good things after tomorrow. That's what I'm hearing. Like, it's your time to shine. And all these individuals are making fun of you. Like, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Or you're wrong. Or you're going to let go of that connection. That is your destined connection. You know, whatever. Those individuals are going to start just falling off, okay? Like, completely. And a lot of you, you're going to have this amazing outcome is what I'm picking up. Okay? You're going to embrace your power. Okay? After tomorrow. You're going to manifest. You know, your talent is going to come out. Some of you are going to be actually recognized, okay, by other people. People are going to start having respect for you, okay? But rest, I'm hearing, some of you need to rest. That's why readings, I've been a little bit, you know, more relaxed about doing them lately because I have been really tired and stuff like that. Plus my email isn't sending them out. Like I said, I don't know what the hell. Independent. You're like tomorrow with the reset, you know, we may not see things right to the eye, you know, but you're claiming your independence in your sovereign energy tomorrow. And people that are not awake and in tune energetically, they won't feel that kind of thing going on. So to them, it's like, oh, I'm so alive today. You'll see cocky messages like that. Okay, but this goes on a soul level too. This is, you know, this is not like that. Overanalyzing. Stop living for other people. Stop being overgiving. Stop trying to please other people, because people are going to try to grab onto you for answers. People are going to try to grab onto you to pull you back. People are going to try to blind you. People are going to try to deceive you. Sway. There's people that I have respect for, you guys, that they still try to sway me some, you know, and they don't know they're doing it. Or they don't even know they're doing it. You know, it happens all the time. So it's not like people are always just intentionally trying to sway you, but well, you guys, you know what? Your time is valuable. That's why us that do readings, like, you know, we do take energy exchange for readings, which is, you know, money or ways to survive, whatever it may be. Because we have to survive too, just like everybody else. And I've, you know, that's another thing that's come up in the last couple of weeks here is like readers should do free readings. They should donate their time. Well, what are you doing? The person saying this, what are you doing to donate to your time? What are you donating your time to? Because they don't want us. A lot of it's jealousy, because our work is valuable. Our work is hard, and our work is impacting the whole world. And I feel like people that say that shit are just simply jealous because they're doing a 9-to-5 factory job or something, and they don't like it, and they're envious and jealous that their job isn't having the impact. So they're like, oh, well, you're selfish because you charge for that, you know. So a lot of you, you're going to have that. Let's see, what are you guys being blinded to? Some of you are being blinded to a new connection coming in. And some of you, you're going to have some of your friends that are other divine feminines or whatever label they have on themselves that are going to be like, you're not going to wait for your person. What's wrong with you? You know, because they're sitting there and waiting. Okay? Their life isn't your problem. Okay? And some of you, what I'm hearing and what I'm noticing in the collective too, they're having one last meetup with their individual person, or they're chatting, or they're having one last chat. I feel like it's like the last chat before letting go, before the reset, honestly. Okay, because the let go has to happen. It just kind of does. If you're not on the same page right now with this individual you're dealing with, whether you're in the same house with this person or not, I mean, the let go has happened. Some of you, you're having old connections coming back in, or they're energetically on your mind because there's stuff you need to forgive yourself for or clear out of your energy, that sort of thing. Because some people are like, why is my ex in my energy? Well, because there's karma, that's why. You guys are going to have... I feel like a lot of you, you know, with tomorrow, you're going to be tempted or lured to blind yourself to new love. That's what I'm seeing here with the King of Pentacles in this. Because this is new emotional experiences. You guys are going to possibly even see love completely different after tomorrow. And you're going to look back at your old stuff. You're like, what the hell? What was I doing? Okay. If you're not doing that already. Okay. Protect what you've worked for. Don't let, you know, some of you guys, you're dealing with little weasels, okay? Like, some of these men that I read, sometimes I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I just have to be honest, because it's the same shit every time. And it's almost like it's the same reading every time. And I know the feminine wants to be released. Okay, but what they do is they come in and they lure. They come in with their fishing pole and, you know, their condom on the end to go get some D from them or whatever they're doing, or treats, you know, carrots. Okay, you know, I'm just trying to be funny. They come in and and when I do a reading with the feminine, they're like, you're right, I feel good, da da da. Like the next day, 2 days later, this little weasel comes in and throws out the bait, and then they're coming back to me for a reading, and I'm like, what are you doing? And sometimes I'll say that too. I'm like, what are you doing? This guy is not nice. This guy is a dick. He's fucking you up. Okay? I'm just like, you know, we've all dealt with these type of people, okay? Whether it's like romantic or friends or family, you know, these little weasels that come in when they want something. All right? People at work. Our kids do that shit, okay? Our kids try to con us and shit. Why are we going to be grown-ass adults letting grown-ass adults do that shit? I mean, I don't let my kids. I make them go to their room when they try to lie or do that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on. I literally say that. What are you doing? I've said that in the reading. What are you doing? All right, so what does the feminine need to know? What does the feminine need to know? Happy outcome. You know, that is one expectation that you can have, is to know you will have a happy outcome no matter what. That's an expectation you can have, okay? That to me is reasonable. Expecting someone else to come in and do it for you is not. Embrace your new life. It's literally being born again. It literally is. It's like the day you're born again. Do you think the day that you're born again that there's somebody bound to you? Not like that. Not like that. And a lot of you, the reason why you're going through this is because the day you were born, your parents let you down from then on out. And it all starts with the system we were born at, the hospital. Okay, so open your heart and accept. Okay? That there's better out there. That there is love. There is happiness. It will come. You have to be open to it. Okay? And if you have any sort of question at all that is possible, any sort of wounded energy at all, people will come and pray on that. Like people that are your friends, your family. Sometimes you'll just cross paths with somebody that'll say something that triggers that wounded energy, whatever it may be. And they don't know they're doing it. It's part of the test. It's part of to see if you're healed. Okay? It's part of to see if you'll go back. It's all part of the whole thing. Okay? So open your heart and just know that your happy outcome isn't maybe, it will come. It will come. These people you're holding on to, they're not wanting to hear you. They're not wanting to listen. You're trying to awaken people that don't want to be awakened, and maybe in this lifetime choose not to, and they've chosen the death of their soul. They've chosen the sacrifice of their soul. You know, and there's not a lot we can do about it. You know, other than sit back and hope for the best. Because I honestly feel like after tomorrow, you guys, there's not a lot of leeway to wake up anymore. Okay? I just have to be real. I don't feel that there's a lot of leeway to wake up anymore. Eventually, there's going to be a window closed to being able to heal your DNA and that sort of thing. So your empathy side, you guys, is going to be heavily preyed upon tomorrow, because people are going to start feeling sorry for themselves. People are going to start going, oh, poor me, my life's falling apart. But when you try to warn them to begin with, okay, there's going to be people dying. There's going to be people that choose to hold on to something that's luring them down a dark place, okay, out of comfort, because that's where they're comfortable. They want to be in the 3D matrix. That's all they know. Like I said, not much you can do, okay? Yeah, I haven't up until it's too late, but energetically there's like there's literally like walls that are coming down and then they start thickening again. Like I don't know how to explain it, but the peak of the opportunity is like now, and then it's gonna start thickening again. So I hope that makes more sense with the awakening process. It's not gonna be as easy to accomplish, and some people it's gonna be just it's gonna be a bit too late, unfortunately. Watch out for jealousy after tomorrow, you guys, because I asked what to warn you guys about. Sovereign is considered devil. Beware who you trust. Yep. Beware of who you trust. I'm saying. I can feel my heart space tingling. So some of you are definitely going through some sort of heart chakra issue. So I'm picking up healing or something like that. Be patient. Be patient. Your luck's going to change. You just can't control when. You know, you guys, sometimes I feel like the Antichrist coming, honestly, is like the people trying to lure us into the darkness or be jealous. And jealousy is like one of the most horrible things. Yep, yeah, they will. The ones asleep are going to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and freaking out. Yep. And they're going to come in and try to, you know, pull at you, try to get control over you. That's why my phone, sometimes I just feel like shattering. Just annoys me so much. I hate my phone. Like sometimes I just, because that's where a lot of it's done. People call you and fuck with you, text you, okay, post shit, and then your phone knows what to post to trigger you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if the internet went down, I'd be like, oh, yes. let's do this. Yeah, you're going to feel a bit bipolar. It's all right. They want you to be, you know, and the thing is, a lot of them, it's kind of like warped, okay? They want you to be jealous that the system is like taking care of them. Like, be jealous of my stimulus check. I got more than you. I've seen fighting about that. I don't even get mine because I have to do extra stuff to prove something, and I'm just like, I don't want it. You know, you guys can have it up your ass. Okay, so they want you jealous. They want you jealous about money. They want you jealous about that Christ is going to come save them, okay? Because they're getting saved, okay? So they're going to... I can't. I just can't. And then today I was seeing Twin Flame Union jealous promoting in a group, and I just like rolled my eyes at that, and I'm just like, what is with all this? And because I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to be me, and the rest is just going to unravel for me. And that's how I'm seeing it. I don't know if my life is going to be the same. I don't know. I have no idea. We're not supposed to. That's the thing. We're not supposed to. And it's like people are rubbing stuff in their face. Like I'm in one of those twin flame groups, and I'm contemplating on leaving it because it's so ridiculous. But at the same time, I know I'm planting seeds and I'm helping people because they're so thankful. So it's like I can't just leave it. But some of the stuff I'm just like, oh my God. Like intentional rubbing jealousy type of shit. It's just like, I got a new car, like my car is better than yours. It's stuff that it's just very immature to me. Okay. Your soul tribe is your protection coming in. It's part of your new community, you guys, for real. Um, it's great, you know. So these people that think they got to try to make you jealous, they're still wounded as hell. They're not confident. They're not confident. Oh yeah, you guys, we accumulate karma every single day. Okay, we accumulate karma every day. Nobody's gonna be pure in this perfect, whatever people think. I don't know what the hell they think. But yeah, I'm probably pissing people off right now. Okay, like that is just the way it is. But I don't care. That's the thing. I don't care. So no, they're not gonna be pure. We're never gonna be pure. Okay, unless you want to be like the monk and just sit in meditation, 12 hours a day the rest of your life or whatever they do. It is hard to let go of what you used to love, but you're gonna find even more that's even better. You will. You know how much less drama and bullshit and how much more authentic people are gonna be with all these stupid ass phones if we get to that point. I know that my work is on it, but at the same time, it's like I'm sick of it. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, there's like something big coming." They're fearful. I don't see it as that. I see it as good. I see it as good. So, and speaking of that, bright new things coming. Okay, you guys are you are getting guidance, and I've had a few people tell me that don't listen to your ancestors; they're evil and hijack too. Not necessarily, you guys. Not all of them. Some of them have the wisdom for you. If you are clear and sovereign, you're going to get the authentic wisdom. Okay, so don't let that fear get you either. Okay, spirit guides, I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of hijacking with that shit. Okay, so we'll see what's going on with the masculine energy. Yeah, and you are freeing your own ancestors, even the deceased ones. You're freeing them by healing your DNA. You really are. So that's how I see it. As far as I'm concerned, like everybody running these dictations and stuff like that, they're just trying to make you be fearful to be anything or anything that's not controlled. Okay, they want you just sitting there fearful that you're gonna die now. Okay, or if you're not pure and perfect, like I said, we all fucked up and got under control of this whole thing. Okay, all of us. Even if we were awake to a lot of it as a child, we still did. Okay, we felt forced. Did you know, you guys, that they are gonna stop you from giving birth at home? I said, who's they? It's in a group I'm in. And then they said, well, the doctor. And I'm like, so the system is your daddy? Are you not an adult? So if you give birth at home, what's going to happen? Well, you have to bring the kid in anyways. You have to come stay in the hospital. Anyways, I was like, Jesus. Well, our ancestors fucked up a lot, you guys. That's why we're here, okay? Trust me, I had a gambling drunk once, too. Okay, I did. And then it's been trained in us that you don't talk about it. So when your ancestors or your lineage were alcoholics or had addictions, you weren't to talk about it. It was supposed to be repressed. So then what happens? You repeat them. You got to put on the American dream and put on the show and the scene. Okay? Yeah, that's what I was considering doing home. If they're going to push this COVID bullshit too harshly, I'm not dealing with that. This soda water is kind of weird, but... Alright. So are we going to have other windows to awaken? Yes. But this is like the big one. This is like, I can't explain it. What I see, what I'm seeing and what I feel about it, but it's just the big one. It's like, I don't know. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities, but it's going to be harder and harder, especially people lower down the 3D more and more, because the matrix, you guys, if people, you know, go along with that, with the reset, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I see a lot of death. It sucks. I hate saying that. Okay. Weather. A lot of weather. Damaging. Tsunami. Hurricanes. Oh my god. Alright, I'm done like looking into that. Okay, I'm done looking into that. Also, you guys, just make sure you have extra food, water. Okay. I mean, nobody's going to be 100% prepared of what's coming. We don't know. But you guys have the strength. You're built for it. Masculine. They're trying to figure out their strength, you guys. So some of them, yeah, so we're dealing with masculine. It's a Leo. It's my husband's Leo. But Leos are actually a really massive part of this new, because Leos are the opposing sign to Aquarius. And we're in the new age of Aquarius. So some of you may be dealing with the Leo. I know my husband's a Leo, but to me, this is like the alpha male too. Like learning that, getting into it. Some of you are going to find a masculine that's in the alpha. Okay, or your masculine energy is going to find strength after tomorrow. Okay, so take it as it resonates. I'm hearing sacrifice. So what I feel like is the masculines, you guys, they're gonna be forced to sacrifice things, comforts, over their denial. It's kind of karma coming back around, is what I'm seeing with the world here. It's like there's some karma. Okay. Yeah, as far as, and yeah, and not even divine masculines if they're not in their divine whole self anyways. So that's why I say masculine. Somebody's like, why are you calling it divine feminine, divine masculine if you don't even believe in this? And I'm like, I'm not saying I don't believe in divine counterparts, you guys, but a lot of what I read, they're not in their divinity yet. So that's why I'm just like masculine energy, feminine energy. Plus we carry a little bit of both. So whatever, you know, take it as it resonates. And a lot of the masculine energy is what you're dealing with in the dark timeline. So it helps with your relationships with everybody, my readings do. So it's not just like directed at one person really. So if that makes sense. Yeah, and I have a Leo Virgo cusp sun and moon and an Aries rising. So I have a lot of fiery myself. A lot of fiery. My nose runs when I read. It's insane. Oh, wow. You know what, guys? They're going to see all the illusions in this. Yeah. The world's full of illusions. The world is an illusion. The earth is an illusion. We have control of this video game we're playing. All right? But you know what? Some people think that tomorrow they can just hit reset and just live the same life again. That is the concept of going back to normal. No. Okay? It's like playing Mario Land. You got to jump over those blocks, you know? And you keep repeating the same, you know, level. Well, after tomorrow, you want to take that path, you're going to have more blocks to jump to get to the awakening process. I really do believe that. It's going to be harder to claim a sovereign. Okay? So Gemini and Leos tend to butt heads quite a bit anyways, so honestly. As far as like zodiac signs, you guys, it doesn't really matter. I just notice like women that are water signs that get with men that are fire signs, those are some of the most toxic connections I read. I just have to be honest, it's the truth. It is so toxic a lot of the times, especially if they're in the toxic energy. The balance is really hard to gain. Okay. Yeah, very toxic, some of that. You know what, you guys? These masculines, there's an ending to playtime. All right, that's what I'm hearing. But with this, I like this Page of Rods because this is like the little playboy. Okay, he's kind of behind that wall and he's going to be observing everything is what I'm seeing after tomorrow. And this is the face I'm getting. I don't know why I'm seeing that. That's what I'm seeing for some of these individuals, you guys. That is literally going to be their face. Okay, they played games during this Great Awakening. They played around. They fucked around. They refused to admit. They turned a blind eye. Okay, this is like your family. This is your friends. This is your community that you live in, whatever. And there's going to be this like, wow, I'm not really an adult. I'm not really what I thought I was. Um, Watermen with fire, women probably just as bad sometimes. I don't know because I know couples that are like that and they said they do bicker quite a bit too. But I just know that like women have that, want to please anyways and want to be very mothering and then add in the water energy and the fiery like narcissistic men that when they're in the toxic side of it because they're not narcissism isn't necessarily bad and it's not okay having strength, let's say that, okay, isn't bad, but when you have the toxic sides to water signs and fire signs and you put them two together, whoo, yeah. What I'm seeing, you guys, is this masculine energy is like sitting in the dark timeline still and watching from a distance and their little child self, their wounded child, and they're just like, speechless. Interesting. After tomorrow, a lot of these people that I've been trying to not gonna have a lot to say. They'll try. They'll try. I mean, how far this war type stuff's going to go, I feel like it's more of a war on the system because some people are going to they're going to surrender and just cooperate and there's going to be a lot of fight or flight mode and that sort of thing, but there's going to be a lot of weaker links that didn't prepare at all. They're going to look for somebody to take care of them and guilt trip and that sort of thing, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm seeing. Happiness is going to be a little bit harder to achieve. Okay. A lot of Leo energy. So I do feel like happiness is going to be a bit harder to achieve for some of these masculine energies. Grabbing onto the old timeline is going to be more difficult, but grabbing onto the new timeline is going to be harder because if you sat and you were defiant and you were mean to people that were, trying to plant seeds and trying to do this and bullied them and that sort of thing, which a lot of people were doing, some of us are just not going to have a lot of time for people just coming and crying and whining about things falling apart in their life. I mean, that's how I've gotten to be because it's like you bullied me, you told me I was fear-mongering, you said all these things, you know what I'm saying? So some of these masculines, it's like you're not going to really feel sorry for them anymore because they've been sitting in this distortion and you tried to warn them, you tried to tell them, you tried to plant seeds, whatever. And then you walked away. Okay? And they got to sit and find their own happiness. Major blocks to grabbing at the feminine energy. Major blocks. And I can feel the solar plexus. So they're going to try this, you guys. They're going to try to grab at you and have an energy feed. Some of you are going to definitely get contact from a lot of people that are in this timeline. Okay? Because they're going to try to take your power. Okay? That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's true, Kelly, but we're all supposed to be different too, So it's kind of, it's a matter of having that balance. We don't have to define by our zodiac charts. But I do feel naturally we do fall into our zodiac charts a little bit too, like, our North Node energy that we're stepping into. Some of us, as we awaken, we naturally step into that North Node and, things like that. So there's some truth to it, but at the same time, I feel like saying that we're all going to be able to adapt to everything is saying we're all going to be one and one the same. And we don't want to be the same because that's not going to be balanced. Okay. And there is like, there has been people saying like, oh, well, we're going to step more into our rising sign. I could see that. I could see that. Okay. These masculines are going to try everything in their power to gain control of something. That's what I'm hearing. I need to control something. Okay. And a distorted feminine has been controlling them. Okay. So they're going to try to seek out control of somebody who's more sovereign, is what I'm picking up here. Because a lot of these people in the dark timeline are in a sovereign energy, or I mean, in a distorted feminine energy themselves, or they're dealing with distorted feminine energy that's controlling them. And they're going to feel such chaos. Okay, and they're going to want to grab control of something, anything, whatever that may be. Yeah, a lot of my followers are going to be Gemini North Node because that's what I am. It's very similar mission. I feel like the soul groups and the North Node have a lot to do with each other, as well as the blood type and blood groups, and there's a bunch of different factors, but yeah, that's what I feel. Hi, Rebecca. These masculines are going to be battling with a lot of darkness. A lot of moon energy here. You guys coming in for the masculine. Illusions, fears, emotional baggage, a lot of stuff here, and true feelings being masked. Yeah, they're going to try to mask their true feelings about a lot of different things here and how they feel about things going on in this world, because they want to have control of their emotions. Because, I wrote up a post about the man has been silenced for so long, and they've been replaced with a beta male. And beta means programmed, basically. A lot of men, like, they don't have control of their life. They're really reliant on the system, and they're given this false ego that they have it together, and they don't. And there's going to be a massive wake-up call with some of that. Okay? And some of you, this is your masculine energy in the matrix as well. You thought you had control of everything, and you don't. It was controlling you. Okay? So there's a big wake-up call to that. And over time, this is going to dismantle. And the masculine energy is going to be like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't really realize how reliant on the matrix I was. I didn't realize how reliant on programming I was. There's going to be a mad wake up call. And, men that are in their strength, men that are handymen, so to speak, that know how to do everything, that have these natural skills that they're born with, that come into their lineage, you guys, because some of those skills go down the lineages. They've been programmed, taken from women and men, all of us, okay, and replaced with self-numbing, with reliance on the system, with all these different things. So when it comes to a fight or flight mode, a lot of these men are going to have a massive wake-up call to them. There's men that don't know how to check their oil, and I'm not discriminating, okay, because it's just part of the programming, but I know how to do that. Okay, I know how to drive a semi. I know how to farm. I know how to drive a motorcycle. I know how to do all these things. I know how to drive a manual car, okay? And there's a lot of them, they don't. So that's going to be a harsh wake-up call, is, these natural, these things that we have natural or did have natural, they're gone. They've been taken. We don't even think on our own anymore. Okay? You know what I'm saying? We don't use maps anymore. We use our GPS. We don't know how to do that anymore. We've lost all of these skills, you guys. Regular math, they replaced it with Common Core bullshit. All right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, John, and that's fine. You have skills, and you don't sit and whine about it, and you're like not seeking out somebody to go do everything for you and that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but people are gonna realize that these skills, they might still be there when you're in fight or flight mode. Okay. When there's fight or flight mode, hunger, famine, that sort of thing, that's when you see the true colors of individuals, because they've done experiments with like dogs and how dogs act when they're, don't have enough food, and their true nature comes out. Okay. Humans as well. A cat and a dog in the same house get along, you guys, because they're being fed and coddled. Okay, take their food source away, they're gonna eat one another. You know what I'm saying? Coriel, nobody's talking directly to you, I don't think, unless you're like talking to somebody in the chat. Don't argue in the chat, you guys, please. All right. But see, a lot of these people are going to realize their strength when there's conflict and danger in the way. Wisdom's going to come out. Who's arguing? No arguing, guys. We're adults in here, okay? All right. See, there's going to be outside forces for some of these individuals. And some of these outside forces, you guys, are going to come in and shove people into their awakening and shove people into their inner wisdom and shove it. Okay, that's what I'm seeing, and force it. And there's going to be outside influences that give them this wisdom, give them this, you know, ability to figure shit out. Okay. And also with that, in retrospect, is there's going to be outside forces. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Outside forces that are going to cause, you know, things to dismantle, and they're not going to have control at all. And it's going to cause very much emotional issues for these masculines. Okay, even the ones that are like, I don't cry, I don't do emotions, da da da. But there's going to be a peak in emotions with some of this. So their instincts are going to come in. Okay. Oh yeah, reckless conflicts lead to reckless actions lead to conflict. Yeah, a lot of people have been reckless. They've been selfish. They've been inconsiderate of other people. Me, because they listen to the media. Okay, you know. Oh yeah, and they're gonna jealous. These masculines are gonna be very jealous of you. Okay. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I would recommend, if people are in that timeline, you guys have envious, jealousy, targeting you in the dark timeline, that sort of thing, I would recommend just refrain from contact, whether it's just a person that's a man or not, or just individuals in your life. I would just refrain, because they're going to try to argue. Some of them will. Okay. Yeah, they're going to be dealing with their superficial life, the, you know, conflict around that, and getting very uncomfortable with it. Because the Matrix has allowed people to put a mask on to cover who they are. The Age of Pisces ended up being built around illusion and lies, okay, and that sort of thing. So we're dismantling all of that. It's going to be an emotional experience. Going to make them uncomfortable. Some of these masculines are going to disconnect completely. Like I said, some people in that timeline, they're going to just, people waited too long. Let's be honest, they waited too long. You know, it's just simply, you know, it's an annoyance in a sense, but at the same time, it's like, you know, why did you do this? It's going to hurt more. Okay, so okay, the red cord of fate. How I feel. This is what I feel. Just like we're being drawn to our soul family. I feel that cord is pretty invisible, and it naturally comes into place when you heal your soul. These red cords, you know, belly button to belly button or heart to heart or whatever the hell some of you have been told, when I do clearings or whatever, they look like chains to me, and energy siphoning cables and control cables. And like I was saying earlier, there's outside forces connected to them, energy siphoning off both sides. Okay, so sometimes, you guys, I'm not going to give promises. I don't want you guys to go to this assuming you're going to get a result. But sometimes getting this stuff removed can improve connections with other people, whether it's your friends, family, or a lover, it doesn't matter. It can clear out the karma, it can improve the connection. Some people, their person doesn't talk to them anymore because the stress of being bound like that, the stress of everything like that, and they just have been separate, but they've both been growing individually. That's what we want to in the first place, is individual growth. What happens after that is just out of everybody's control. And that's what everybody's freaking out about, is the lack of control. If they come together later, maybe, that's up in the air. Some of them have started to have more of a stronger friendship, better communication, you know, which has improved, that sort of thing. But most of all, what it's designed to do is to free your soul. It's not really designed to be a fix or to bring your connection together, because that's messing with free will. All right. But you have to do the inner work and the healing with the soul retrieval and with the cord removing in order for it to stay. And it can be painful. It isn't always painful. Some people are like, oh, it didn't bother me a bit. I felt really amazing. Some people feel really amazing for a few days and then they have a crash and a purge. You get weird side effects, acne. Okay, I had some cords removed off me the other day and I got acne. Okay, diarrhea, weird stuff. But the faded red cord, I don't feel that you can always see that. Okay, I feel like that's faded and it's stuff that it comes on its own. And that's how some of the soul families are being drawn together right now. Okay, so it can be a painful event, and some people in here have probably experienced that, and I've had people freak out because they think it's not working, but no, if there's some pain and purging, it probably is working. Some people have had paranormal experiences after. I have before. Okay, all of a sudden there's, lights flickering, and, I get anxiety, and what it is it's me drawing in old demons, so to speak, or old dark energy. It's me. And then, my husband's like, it's you, you're freaking out. And I'm like, oh, okay, checkmate, right? And then it stops. Some people are like, I'm getting demonic attacks. It's like, it's you. You're seeking out your old self. Your old self is haunting you. Your old ways are haunting you. And they don't want to believe it. So then they're just like miserable. But once they accept it and believe it, it subsides immediately. Okay? Some of you are letting these cords off yourself. Some of the masculines are doing it. Because I've had people freaking out that they don't feel that connection to them anymore. Some of the masculines are doing it on their own. Okay, they're letting go of the connections. So the faded red string theory, so to speak, is like, you're destined to cross a path with people, but not be bound to them. That's just complete utter bullshit. All right. Okay, some of you, like with this connection you're dealing with, there's just going to be time apart. And, we are going through the dark night of winter, so I feel like spring equinox is going to be a huge shift for a lot of you on the truth of your connection, whether things are going to pan out, whether things are going to be what you thought. The masculine here, I feel like they're going to separate from a lot of you. Okay, they're going to let go of the connection. If you didn't, they are going to let go. And I've had a few people that got cord removals and they didn't want to let go. And they're like, why is the masculine doing so great now? Because maybe you were controlling some of the connection and not knowing it. That does happen as well with some people. It's easy to play victim to the masculine when in actuality you were kind of the one trying to dictate and control it. But then playing victim when they were coming in and using you, but you were allowing it. Okay, so they're having situations like that where the masculine gets free and they go find another woman, for example. It's happened for sure twice, I believe, and that's caused a lot of pain. So you have to just be ready for the unknown. You have to be ready. It's all about you being free, not a result. Okay? And yes, you cannot control other people's free will. You can. You just can't. We can't stop our kids' decisions all the time either. So yeah, base shattering. I've had that too, and people are like, oh my god, I'm being haunted. I'm like, it's you, your butt. I bust light bulbs and stuff when I'm having issues. So When I get angry, I've had light bulbs that have exploded. Yeah, let go of expectations. That is like a really huge thing. Like, I can't design a path for my children. I can't do that. We had that done to us. We had a path designed for us, and we didn't have control of our childhood. We may have had the most amazing parents, the most amazing support group, but still, it was just kind of a program to design a path or tell you what you should be, or, oh, look at so and so, they're going to grow up to be this, they're going to grow up to be that. And it's just kind of a subconscious thing. You go to school and they design a path for you. And it's like, we can't do that for people. We can't. We can design our own. So I think a lot of it is that wounded child with the want to control is because our path got designed for us, carved out for us with the programs, with the bullshit, with the expectations, and we're trying to control other people, and it's a projection of that wounded energy. Okay. And I realized that I had issues with control as well. I'm a lot better about it now. And I realized that, I needed to have boundaries. And it wasn't so much controlling other people, but I let people control me real easy. But then I would also try to control other people too. And it was kind of like, the compensating thing. So, and a lot of like guilt tripping, that's forms of controlling. And then, I had to battle that. That is something that was installed in me, was to guilt trip, and I had to let go of that. That was part of my wounded feminine healing. Okay. When you grow up around certain things, or you see certain things at school or whatever, it's an automatic installment. Okay. Yeah, and I'm more relaxed with my kids too, and that's why people are like, oh, boys are this, girls are this. I'm like, why don't you come to my house for a day and you'll like take all that back, because we don't have, that kind of talk in this house really. My girls have discovered that they're girls, obviously, but I have 3 tomboys. Okay, they have defeat. Thank you for the donation. They have defeat every single myth on that, for real. Okay, I'm just like, a lot of these kids, they're trying to break free. They are. Yeah, some people had a better childhood than others, but there was still, your school tried to carve your path, the medical tried to carve your path. There's still all that going on, and we're shattering it all. So it doesn't even have to be your childhood at home. It can be all of it. So the masculine are learning to love themselves. So they do need time apart, you guys. I do feel there's going to be some divine guidance with time apart with some of these masculines for sure. And what's going to happen, like I said, let go. It's the only, let go. Don't expect a thing. Because I know a lot of you got told union in March, February. I believe there's a lot of March and February union. I don't like that time frame in union, because I feel like that could get you off path or distracted. Okay. A lot of them are going to go for a fresh start. And I am picking up, you guys, spring equinox being a really huge shift for some of the masculines. Okay. So the dark winter may be quite intense on some of them. You guys, there's going to be some weird stuff happening this summer, too. I don't know why. Something with, like, aliens and weirdness. I don't know, but it's going to be, like, mind fuckery. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of, like, weird-ass shit that gets put out to us as tests to, like, fuck with our heads and stuff. I don't know. I keep seeing weird stuff. Yeah, John, union in February and March is now the timelines that a lot of my clients have been given now, because they're telling me in emails, like, I've been promised union. There's some date in February, and I can't remember it right now, but Can you confirm this for me? And I won't confirm that because I just feel like it's not right. So a lot of these masculines, you guys, are going to go through a really lonely time. Okay? Really lonely time. A lot of emotion. There's going to be a lot of emotional baggage. A lot of emotional baggage for these masculines I'm picking up on coming through. I mean, if they awaken, the masculines literally shatter from the inside out. It's very emotional. They literally shatter. Okay. It can be pretty intense. It can be pretty intense. Yeah, lone wolf, that's just it. I can't bring myself to, like, I don't want to bring those expectations and disappointment. I just can't do it. It just doesn't feel right to me. And I never did focus on anything like that, really. So, and I had so many clients are like, oh, the Lion's Gate, there's going to be a shift and there's going to be unions coming in. I've been hearing that since I've been doing readings. 1212 portal was another one. 1221, there was supposed to be unions falling into place. I don't know. Could it happen? Sure. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with a lot of these connections or relationships in general with anybody around you. So, and that's what I'm seeing a lot of you doing. Like, you plant the seeds and you let go. Okay? And you're just gonna let it grow as it's meant to do. You did your job. You did your job with this individual, you guys. They did theirs as well. They triggered a mass part of your shadow work and your clearing. Okay? That to me is the biggest part of these connections when I read them, is the trigger to the awakening process. And you're going to meet individuals, you guys, that trigger large parts of your awakening throughout your life, or you're going to see it, looking back. But for some of you, this individual, you had a lot of past life baggage with them, and they triggered that to clear. Okay? So it's like you guys planted your seeds, and you're like, all right. And this could just, like I said, this is people at your work, this is your friends, family, and that, whatever. And you're just like, I'm going to let this transform on its own here. Because you guys know that you can't do anything about it. Okay. Don't run from the connection. I just heard that. When I think of running, what I see when people run is not surrendering. I see running as just running off and expecting this person to come and beg for you on their hands and knees and having expectations. That's what I feel when I hear running. Okay. Or fight or flight mode. Some of these masculines may run for the feminine because they do want to escape the connection. Okay. I have to be real about that. And that's where you need to let go of the energy. Okay. The runner phase and chaser phase shit too is just another stagnant crap, I think. Yeah. There's going to be this want. Some of you are going to have this want to control this connection, or this masculine want to control this connection. Okay. And you're going to be like, I'm going to block them. I'm going to run from them. But they're going to still peek through a peephole because you want to see. Are they going to care about me? This is still wounded. The runner phase is running for wounds. Some of it. Some of it. Observe. There's going to be a still want to control each other. If that's your story, I'm hearing that. Okay. To know, are they coming back? Do they care? You're still going to be very tempted by this. Okay, this is where a lot of this, cycling comes in. There's going to be a lot of watching from a distance is what I'm seeing. This is where phones are toxic too. They've turned into spy devices, What happened to the natural, like, go for a walk and walk by somebody's house and just kind of, oh no, we got our phones now. We got to spy on everybody. Some Pisces are aware. I've ran into some Pisces that are pretty ignorant, to be honest. But that's another story. Pisces men, some of them drive me nuts. Let's see. Yep, some of you, you're going to see if this person appreciates you, and you're going to... Some of you are going to, like, pretend to give them space, pretend to let go. Don't pretend nothing. Let go. Okay, because then you're like, well, I'll let go and I'll block them, and I'm just going to spy on my fake account or look through people, or the masculine's doing this to you. It can be both ways. And you're like, I'm going to see if they appreciate me. I'm going to test them. This is control. It shouldn't matter at this point. Okay, it just shouldn't. Okay, I'm going to get some messages, you guys. Because I got some readings to do tonight. I blame myself for what happened. Alright, have a good one. I know my friends ruined this connection. You're the best thing that happened to me. Why did you leave and abandon me? This relationship has no future. Don't get me started on Pisces men. Because some of them try to control so badly. And so manipulative. I've seen it. Because they're in the distortion, right? And they want to think they're a fire sign or something. I don't know. But it's... I don't even want to discuss what I've seen with some of the Pisces men. I'm not saying they're all that way. Because they're not. But there's been ones that target women just to steal abundance from them, you guys, that I've heard of. So they don't want to accept their position. Okay, and some of them are a little more of it's a feminine sign. Okay, so Sagittarius men, I've seen a lot of toxicity with them as well. Ton. Yeah. I mean, all signs have it. Everybody has their toxic side. But I have issues around Pisces in general because I feel like it's part of my karma is that sign for some reason. And I had a lot of Pisces in my life growing up. I have a Pisces daughter. I had a lot of Pisces friends that about drove me insane. Okay, it's one of those signs where the toxic side of them, I'm just like, but I've met some that are really cool too. So it's not, I'm not just like saying they're all that way, but the toxic side, oh my God, it just like, it's really hard for me to deal with. So Scorpios, yeah, a lot of the water signs in general. The Cancers are a little better, but I really struggle to align with really bad. So yeah, I grew up around a lot of Pisces. A lot of water sign. A lot of it. And it was a bit traumatic. And I had some Pisces friends that really fucked me over. Okay, it literally is. It's a placement. Thank you for the donation. It's a placement in my chart that I actually have karma around that sign. And I can't remember what it was. But yeah. And my Pisces daughter, like, triggers the hell out of me sometimes when she gets into that dramatic, like, toxicity. I'm like, oh my God. I can't deal with this shit. And then she does this crying like scene and episode and throws herself on the floor, and it's like a vibrato obscene cry, and it just gives me the goosebumps. You don't- Thank you. So she does this like vibrato crying scene, and I'm just like, yep, Gemini's more masculine. Gemini is kind of in between. I think it just all depends. So, and I have Leo and Virgo, so I have a combo of masculine, feminine, and Aries rising. So I have a lot of masculine in my chart, to be honest. It's very, very masculine chart. Oh, the Pisces drama and fucking start. Oh, because even my husband's like, I don't know how to handle this Pisces shit because her oldest daughter, when she gets drunk, it's awful. And then I have a Sagittarius daughter with a Capricorn moon, and they struggle to embrace their emotions, so they explode when they do. You know, the Capricorn moon, they have temper. Oh my goodness. So makes me intense. Oh, I am so sorry to sound offensive, but those Pisces and that toxic energy, it sends me the chills, man. And then people are like, oh, Virgos are more compatible with Pisces. I'm like, no, no, none. So my baby better bake in the oven into Aries season because hell, I don't want another one of them in the house. I got enough. I'm gonna manifest this on the stand. But he'd have to be like 3 weeks early to get into Pisces season. I doubt he's gonna be that. So we'll see what happens. Oh, they cry like, and it's not just like some of them that I've seen, you guys, like the water signs when they cry. Some of them. It's not just cry. It's like vibrato singing, obnoxious as fuck crying. It's so terrible. I'm just like, what in the fuck? And when my daughter does that, I'm like, okay, you're faking. Just go to your room. I don't even want to hear it. If he's on his due date, he'll be Aries Sun and Aries Rising and Capricorn Moon. So that's pretty powerful. So I hope so. I'm manifesting him to be born around Easter. Is what I want. That'd be so cool. So. Yeah, my Venus is in Virgo, I think. Oh, the Pisces men, and some of them act like kind of like girly, I guess. And me, because I'm so masculine, I have to have like a real, like, masculine, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't deal with like crybaby type of boys that I can't, I don't have the patience, I guess. But drive me nuts. When like, even like kids, like boys that whine all the time, it drives me nuts. Oh, the ugly cry. And that's probably why I'm more drawn to like fire signs because of my masculinity in the chart so heavy. A lot of it. Leo and Leo can be hard because um my husband and I are both pretty Leo, I guess, and I did a chart comparison and there was a lot of the same wounds that we had to heal, so that is really tough. Really tough. So that's a hard one to balance out. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them could be. I know some Pisces men that are more masculine, so the rest of their chart probably. I mean, they could have a fire moon or a fire rising, you know. But a lot of Pisces they have like Gemini moon and Gemini rising, and mix those two together. Wow. And so I think Nadia's got a Cancer moon and an Aries rising, so she's got that Aries to balance a bit. But oh my God. I don't know. I just say water signs in general. I don't deal with many cancers, to be honest. Oh, my Lilith is Pisces, I think. I don't remember. Gina, that's what it is. Yep, you're exactly right. Mm-hmm. And then my rising is actually kind of a cusp with Taurus. So, but it usually comes up as Aries. But Pisces, but oh, it drives me nuts. And I had so many Pisces in my family too, and Aquarius too. That explain why Aquarius I either get along with really well or I don't. It's pretty simple as that. Explain that. Gemini and Leos, they can have power trips. I have had issues with jealousy in Pisces for some reason. I don't know what the deal is there. But yeah, my oldest daughter's kind of my karma, I guess, with that then. So she's helping me level it out. 823 is a Virgo Leo cusp. Why are you asking me questions about water signs? Why the fuck does it matter that some of my preference isn't water signs? Why does it matter to you? Why do people sit in here and argue? I don't do well with emotional stuff. I'm not fucking judging. If you'd sit and listen, get the fuck out of here. I've had enough of this shit. This is the shit we're gonna deal with for the next 10 days. Fucking arguing. Oh, get the fuck out. Your rising is what you present on the outside. Yeah, Todd, that's right. It's the balancing act. The Virgo is, I think the Virgo and Leo mix is actually a good combination. I'm not discriminating on Pisces because I know a lot of them that are in a very healed state. But the toxic side, boy, that'll explain if it's my hidden enemy in the 12th house. Is that what Gina said? I think that's what she said. That would explain. I don't know a lot about zodiac sign, like charts, but I just know those are the ones I run into the issues with. It's just ridiculous how people just sit in here and argue about everything. Some people say, okay, I saw a bunch of posts that Virgos are the evil sign, da da da. I'm just like, okay, that's cool, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I should look that up more, the houses of enemies. I do not care for Virgo masculines. I don't. I've never really gotten along with Virgo masculines. I've known some. So if we want to judge, I can judge my own sign then. That's fuck stupid. Yeah, that deep down in that ocean. Yeah, some of it, that would make sense, yes. See, some people love Virgo men. I'm not really into, I don't really, never really cared for them. Thank you for the donation, Rebecca. Libra men, I've seen the bipolarness of some of them. I don't really know a lot of them, but yes, I've seen it. And Gemini men are a bit neurotic sometimes too. I've seen that, but they're funny. They can be really funny. Yeah, I guess that, yeah, and my 12th is Pisces. That would makes very perfect sense. Why And my oldest daughter, yeah, she would be my karma. So that makes perfect, she's helping me balance it. And also, she's getting into the healed Pisces side, which she's very motherly and nurturing. So Pisces have a very nurturing side, which is an amazing thing too. But so do Virgos. So she kind of like helps me with the kids and stuff. So she's very loving. But then she's got like Aries, like, is it Venus or something like that? She's feisty, man. She'll defend herself and she defends her family. My oldest does. Very defensive about her family. See, it all depends with Sagittarius men. It depends on the rest of their chart. Depends on how healed they are. Because some of them can be really, really narcissistic too. But I think everybody can. But yeah, fire signs are really prone to narcissism, I think. I do notice with the water signs though, Cancer men are the ones I notice that seem the most like grounded or whatever. I don't know. The Pisces men have just always been, just all Pisces in general. Either I get along with them really good or they fucking hate me. So I think it just all depends. Beings that it's in Pisces, I don't. Neptune? I think my Neptune is Pisces, maybe. I'm not real good with zodiac charts. I don't really look into them. But anyway, I think I have Neptune in Pisces. Yeah, I've seen some really toxic Virgo men though. Like there was this one Virgo dude that I knew, and he was like really like, I don't know, odd. I can't quite explain. I can't quite explain. But I like to party with Gemini men though. They're fun. Like they like to dance and party and stuff like that. I don't know. It doesn't really matter because they have other aspects to their charts and stuff. And then, like I said, it just depends. Are they sitting in the distorted state or, the toxic state? So I don't think it really matters. I don't care who that person is. Sorry, I don't want them in here. Yeah, but Gemini men, they can be quite manipulative, I think. Very indecisive, if that means. I know they're very indecisive. Well, all Geminis. But they're the kind of the bipolar sign, really, the twins. The two sides. What is my Chinese? That's the animals, right? I think I'm the rat, maybe. Lovely. I do have a lot of Virgos, but it's like I get the good balancing act with the fire, and I think Earth and Fire, like I don't know, it's a good chart, I think. Is the rat the smart one? Well, that's good. And Virgos are too, supposedly, but that Virgo guy that I've met one time, he wasn't very bright. Scorpio moon, my youngest has that Libra sun, Scorpio moon, I believe. Virgo rising, I think. Lewis got busted, so he's out of here. Yeah, the one guy that I knew that was Virgo, he was not smart. I don't know what the heck. There was something weird about that one. I don't know. And, like, and really whiny too. But a Pisces moon, right? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Oh, it is the first Chinese, and then my life path number is 11. I think he was missing screws, like bad. Okay, ugh, just a weirdo. He's probably watching too because he's creepy. Very creepy. I can't even stand him. Yuck. If you're watching, Virgo boy, get the fuck out. You. Is he whiny some? Well, I think, you know what though? Like a lot of like some boys, like they're so dramatic. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Yeah, 11s are one of the master numbers. And my husband's an 8, and that's the powerhouse, I think it's called, something like that. And then Nadia's a 1, so she's the leader on top of her Aries rising. And then her dramatic Pisces sun and Cancer moon. I can't remember what 9 is. I can't remember what that is. Do you guys, the next, like, 10-day shift here, have boundaries. Like, I had to tell a few people off and boot them out of here. I'm not tolerating arguing at all. I won't. And that was, I just did a reading saying people would do that. And what does people do? Come in here and do that shit. So, yeah, the Virgo stalker. Oh my God, yuck. I don't even want to talk about it. Weirdo. I've had some creepers since I've been so public and everything like that. Ew. Um, anyway, yeah, I have no problem. I spent a majority of my life silencing and trying to people please, and I don't care anymore. So when it comes to this next 10 days, I don't argue back. Like it's not worth just sitting there arguing, but just block it out, ignore, like put your boundaries up, keep yourself on your pedestal, don't bow down or give your power away, okay? Because those people in here, they're like, why are you judging me? That is how to give power. That is somebody who's wounded trying to take my power, and I won't do it. So you're going to have a lot of that, especially on social media. That's why I absolutely cannot, like my phone sometimes, like I should just throw it in the snowbank, but whatever. I gotta do my work on it. Yeah. I should get at like a cave or something to crawl in for the next 10 days. It's going to be a bad 10 days, you guys. I'm sorry to say it, but I don't know. And there's something about February and a lot of like people dying. I just hate the visions I get, but that's what I see. That's what I see. So I don't know. It's gonna suck, and I hate to be the giver of bad news, but it's for the good at the end of the day. So the government can't control you at all. You have to allow it. You have to be okay with that. Yeah, I think so. What's the date today? Yep, today's the 10th, so yeah, it would be tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It's like day one of the age of Aquarius, basically, or a new life. So that's how I see it. Yeah, I would recommend. I actually left a whole bunch of groups that I was in, and I deleted a bunch of friends because I just don't want to deal with it. Excuse me. But I figured, I was going to deactivate Facebook, but then I'm just letting them have their way because they want us truth speakers off social media and to silence. So it's a matter of having the balance. They're trying to silence us. I think that censorship is a form of silencing, and it's bullshit. And you could have a bunch of whiny program people doing their dictation everywhere and not censor that, and calling us names and saying that that we're going to be reported and we're going to be this and that, we're going to get in trouble. That's okay. All that is okay. But we step into truth and speak, and then, oh my God, censorship is emotional abuse. It's bullshit. And a majority of you guys have dealt with it since you were a kid. you know Just think about it. Were you the kid that was kicked at the dinner table because you spoke truth? Right, I was, okay? I was a kid that, that wasn't okay. And you were supposed to silence the ancestral patterns. You're supposed to silence everything. That's what we were trained to do. It was just, the American dream. Just put on a show. And it's like I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Right? Be quiet. Kick under the table like, shut up. Oh, I only got a 24-hour timeout so far on Facebook. But yeah, censorship is emotional abuse. It's silencing identity. If you don't follow the dictation, you don't support the 3D matrix, you don't support the programming, you're a fucking asshole and you deserve to be censored and put in timeout and naughty and whatever. You're naughty, bad girl, bad boy, whatever. Because you're supposed to be a wounded child, right? Tina, did you you got detention? They only gave me a slap on the wrist. I got 24 hours so far. It is toxic. It programs people. It puts AI out too. It does. And like you chat on Messenger about something, or a lot of my readings have to do with love and relationships, and stuff like that. So I'll do my readings, and then all of a sudden there's ads on YouTube about relationships, and some of it's really toxic ads too. It's such bullshit, and I'm just like, okay. I think mine, I can't remember what I got kicked off for. I said something about New Age liberals being brainwashed, maybe, or something, or manipulated, and I got kicked for that. I think that's what it was. I don't remember anymore. It was stupid. It was a couple different things. But I think banning people off social media is going to start subsiding too. Yeah, mine was hate speech too. And offensive. Yep, Kelly, that's because they put devices on you. And you also send cues out. So like let's say that you're looking at something on social media and you're kind of like pissy about it. So the programming like sees your facial expressions and sees that you're pissy or sees that you're annoyed by it, so they'll put more up. So even if it's in your head, they have a way of knowing. So these phones, they try to act like your brain. Ugh, disgust. As you see, they had articles out that they're using facial recognition to bust people that were supporting the Washington, D.C. ordeal. Real jail. I didn't have to stay overnight, but I got arrested like once. We're literally prisoned. That's what we're breaking out of. That's what we're breaking out of. Oh, I feel very blessed that I can work at home. I mean, I got to deal with trolling and bullying on the internet, but I'm so glad I don't work in a building with a bunch of women, especially. It just drives me insane. Oh my goodness. Bunch of catty women. No jail time. Well, You can manifest something to work from home with. You'll find a way. Money's going to transform completely right now anyway. So there's going to be a complete transformation with money. I do see that coming, like heavily, heavily, heavily. I don't know what. I couldn't, there's going to be a dismantle with money. So try not to stress about it. Did you know that a lot of our debt and what we own, like we already owned it. We already own it. It's paid for pretty much with the bonds on our maritime name and stuff like that. I learned that too. Like, you know, like we're paying for shit twice and then like Walmart's owned through the government and we technically own that. We have ownership in that. We pay taxes and stuff. So we're paying for stuff twice through there. It's so fucked up. Once you learn this stuff, you're just like, oh my God, really? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you get drawn down your divine path for sure. You find a way. Stock market, yeah, there'll be some of that. There'll be the value of the dollar. They're trying to have one currency worldwide. I mean, they're trying to have one size. We are one. We are the same. We are one world government. You are the same. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make us more of a herd of cattle than anything. And we've already been that for how long? And what I've seen, you guys, there's been basically four types of people that have been installed, four different types of program people, like two different types of men and two different types of women. That's what I've been seeing. And now it's like get in the middle and find you, you know? So that's what I'm seeing, that they're trying to get everybody on page that you're the same, you're equal, you're identical. That's not true. That's not true. That is to me very, controlling. You're the same skin color, the same eye color, the same gender, the same whatever. No, we're not. We're not supposed to be. Lone Wolf, yeah, I do. Yep, there's a lot of artificial intelligence behind that, and I do feel a lot of the masculines are very, very heavily um, artificial intelligent ran or reptilian. The host of the reptilian programming, yes, they can come in and pull you right off path and completely. When I did a reading one day about how some of them come in to strictly meddle you off your divine path, there's truth to that. There is. So, mm-hmm. It's taking away from true divine connections. It really is, some of it. So, some people hold on, you guys. It is a trick to get them down the old path. It is. They're still not going to get that union and that result they were promised. And it's unfortunate. And it can fuck up the masculine's life too, you guys. It's not just yours. It can fuck their life up too. I'm not trying to be frightening. It can. Yep. That's why the label anymore is just new age to me. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it anymore. You don't allow it, Helen. Just do not allow it. Don't take the bait. It takes strength. It really does. It takes boundaries. It takes strength. And it takes being okay with those boundaries and not allowing your empath to be preyed on. I couldn't explain to you who you're dealing with is a zodiac sign in particular. Okay. Yep, they want you to close your heart down. They want you to turn wounded. You guys, I have clients that have trauma from these connections, and it's straight up trauma, and it is so sad. It is so sad. And I feel so horrible for them because when they do get energy work done, it is so miserable for some of them, and they keep drawing back in more darkness because they're so wounded and used to it that it's quite an event. So I can't even stand these connections. It just makes me want to cry for them. It's horrible because some of these women have so much potential, or even men. I work with men too. They have so much potential. So I'm glad I discovered I'm glad I discovered this when I started doing readings, because I felt like, it's even in my zodiac chart that teaching love and how to love is like part of my past. So that's cool. And my husband and I, when I did our charts together, ours was to help people clear codependency and karmic cycles. So it just fits in, you know what I'm saying? So But we had to, you know, we all had to engage in the dark stuff, engage in toxic things to learn them. So, yeah, stay optimistic because there's some people with some really awesome connections and they're coming. They're coming. I promise you, I can promise you that your dreams can come true if you stay in a sovereign, healed state. Okay? I mean, you can't control somebody else. You can't control somebody else, but okay, bye, John. But you guys should read, there's like, read up on alien love bites. Okay, look up that term because a lot of it is that, and it makes these connections so addicting, and the magnetic pull is unreal. Okay, that's in, and when Lone Wolf said, do you think these connections come in to sabotage your path? That's part of it. Yep. And then, but then it's presented, you know how it's presented, which this when you're in a solid divine connection, I do feel this is true, that outside people do come in to meddle with it, but some of these twin flame stuff is meddling you off path so you don't find a divine connection too, because of the outside force. But there's outside force implanted on people to draw them together to have this toxic addiction and toxic pull to each other, to keep going with this toxicity. And it's trained or taught that, well, that's because everyone else is pulling divine connections away. So then it's like ingrained to manifest that it's everyone else's fault, or to think it's everyone else's fault, not realizing that there's more to it. Okay, so yeah, look up about alien love bites, you guys, because I feel a lot of people are victims of that. And you can be abducted in your sleep. You may have a dream about a staged kind of room or a hotel room or a sexual dream with this individual, and it's intense and it's all this good sexual interaction, and it's actually implanting devices on you guys even before you meet this person. I do feel the internet's behind a lot of it, because when people are like, oh, I had this dream, or they may not even remember the dream, and then all of a sudden they see the person in, like, people you may know on Facebook, and they're so addicted to their face or their picture. And that's a lot of stories is like that. And even people from their past can be drawn back, and all of a sudden there's that addiction. So it even draws people back from your past that you already knew. It's fucked up. It's so messed up. It's really unfortunate. And that's why when people say all aliens are good, no, not all of them. Some of them, yeah. Um, some of them are for the good, just like everything else. Just like everything else. So if you have one of those dreams, you guys, that are sexual, or there's something weird about it, because sometimes these aliens like shapeshift into people you know, okay, in these dreams. Um, there's no, how did my husband explain it? There's no sense of time. So you can try to count, see if you can count, you can get control of your dreams. And you can test them, and you can say no. You can tell these entities, no, don't touch me, leave me alone, because they have to listen to you. Okay? And you can also say, show yourself. Show yourself. Same with sexual energy, all that stuff. Yeah, astral projection, like these connections, they're given these abilities to be able to have this telepathic, intense communication. They're given these abilities to have astral projection. They're given all these abilities, and it's ran by outside force. So a lot of that's going to be dismantling and shutting down. So a lot of these connections are going to be realized that they were artificial the entire time. So that is why I'm trying to get you guys in a sovereign place, so you don't get that horrible disappointment. And I'm seeing so many of my clients figuring this out, and the trauma is so intense. And I don't want to see you in that state with this horrible trauma. We have enough of it. Okay? And these connections prey on your trauma. They prey on your trauma to induce more trauma. And it's just, we all have trauma. We have enough of it. There's women with sexual trauma, sexual uncomfort over these connections, and all the sexual energy and siphoning from the connection. It isn't even the masculine, it's outside forces doing it, hijacking their sacral. Sometimes it's the masculine playing them and using them for sex. Really bad. Yeah. So in a sense, it's some of these these connections come in to prey on your traumatic energy, prey on your trauma, to lure you down a path of doing rotten shit you feel guilty about and shameful for. And then you sinned, or you did things you regret, or you did actions you regret, but you were actually, and then now it's like, oh, because a lot of our rotten stuff, even addiction, you guys, drug addiction, that can be implants from aliens and everything. It's insane. Okay. So they want us to not only be hijacked by the system, be hijacked by the AI, but fuck up from the system, and then feel like we're going to be more punished for the fuck ups and the hijack of the system. So we keep holding on to it. That's why this Christ coming down and repenting, everybody, that's going on now. Okay, we've already been doing that. It's just more lures. I can assure you, a lot of you have sat and repent in the other dimensions this year. Okay, so um, yeah, it's okay. I actually asked for my dreams to be shut off because I wanted protection. I didn't want to dream anymore. So, oh yeah, the booze and marijuana. I'm kind of mixed about that. I don't trust the government ran marijuana. I do not trust that. But I do feel that it can do good things. But there's actual setups, you guys, where people get drugs. It's abduction in other dimensions. They get drugs, so they start fiending for drugs, alcohol. And sexual addiction's another huge one. They can even abduct and get men to crave like the same-sex relationship, or women to crave same-sex relationship all of a sudden. It's really messed up. So messed up. But just be careful with those dreams. That's why I'm like, the sexual energy, tell it to go away unless you know somebody is actually connecting with you consciously and doing that type of stuff with you, because a lot of times it's deception. Kundalini, I feel like a lot of Kundalini is too. Yep, that's right, Barbara. I don't like controlled government marijuana. Hi there, Heather. So just be careful. I've seen some of these dark entities that actually shapeshift into masculines. I've seen it when I'm in the other dimension. Oh, Heather, that was quick. You had a little reunion. Did you get some vitamin D with it? Oh God, some of these connections are just nuts. I'm saying, like, it's time to walk away. Yeah, Barbara, some of these connections, like, um, a lot of the masculines, a lot of people in the dark timeline, they're hijacked by their reptilian programming, and they'll have like really tiny little pin-sized pupils, or like slits that go vertical. It's creepy, and I've seen it. I've seen it on people. Well, Heather, it's not like they're total reptilian always, but they're hosting entities, and then that's why they engage in like addictions and disgusting behaviors. And I don't know. I was just discussing alien love bite and stuff like that, and you can get real in the rabbit hole with it and overthinking too, and thinking everybody's reptilian around you, but there's some truth to it. Yeah, the lizard eyes, the bright green eyes with the bright green or blue, or was it mainly green? I can't remember what I read, but with the vertical slit and the tiny little pin pupils. That was one I read up on. And I've seen people like that. I have. And one was this ex friend of mine that was like that. It was a girl, a female, and she was always like out on an attack, and she had those lizard eyes, and I'm like, ugh. It's hosting reptilian. Yep. It's part of the system. It's the control. Like the whole system's reptilian ran, or reptilian programming, whatever you want to call it. You know. He like ears all the time. The hills have eyes. Oh, the eyes changing. And you know, when I got wrapped into the false light stuff, briefly, when I started getting really sick, I recognized it right away, you know, that something was off. But my eyes like changed color so quick, which is normal to an extent, yeah. But mine would go from like dark, dark to like blue or green. And I'm like, huh? So I know that I was hosting something. And then when people had, I don't think I got fully, you know, taken like some people are, but they tried. And and then when people started having dreams, I was coming to them and having sex with them in dreams. I was like, no, like women were saying this and stuff. I knew that I was hijacked. So that confirmed it. But basically, Heather, yeah, it's like, it's total soul hijacking, but I didn't get far enough into it. Thank God. Thank God. And then I kept rejecting and purging the programming, and I'd get back to normal because you can purge it on your own. And then people would come in and try to lure me back to the false light. So when people say there's no such thing as false light, that's fucking bullshit. Because I was a victim to it. So, oh yes. Well, Lone Wolf, think about it. So we're starting a whole new lifetime. So, yeah, we're starting new. So that's why I don't believe that if they're in the old timeline that you have to sit and wait for them. It's a lure, you know? So, yeah, you can get a new masculine, and actually one that's in their divine. So, I got a bunch of people in my group that are like, yeah, you guys, it's real. I found a new guy. So, I know that it's going on. And they're finding awakened ones and a man that can actually, like, protect them and support them and have balance. So, yeah. Well, you guys deserve it. And, you know, so many women have lost out on having kids and getting married. And it's sad. It's sad. And some of them, they threw away their whole family for this connection. And they could have worked it out with their ex. And they want to now. And that's been hard. So I think it's designed to break up the nuclear families, really, or to fuck things up, or fuck lineages up, or something. Some of it, not all of them, and that's, so I'm not saying all of them, because some of them have potential and some of them have very good reasons. But the triggering of the shadow work is the number one that I feel is the reason for these connections. But yeah, it can get too deep. Yeah, Robin, you're not the only one. There's a large group of them. It's sad. It's really sad. I watched some Beyond the Veil, but I think some of it is a bit ego-ish, some of the videos, but I don't know. I try not to watch too many things, and I try not to watch too many videos at all. I do like David Icke, though. Is that how you say his name? I was watching him today a little bit. Oh, 27, that's nothing. What are you talking about, 27? I didn't have kids till I was 30. Geez, you got plenty of time. My God, I'm 36 and I'm having my fourth. That's nothing. 30's your prime, man. 33, that's nothing either. What are you guys talking about? You're in your prime. Oh, yeah. I can see myself having kids in my 40s. Probably. Sacral cleansing can help your fertility, by the way. Well, I told myself that I needed 2 kids and marriage by 25, and that didn't happen. So, a little bit delusional, I think, back then. Wasn't ready for that. I had a client that was 50 and just had twins like last year, maybe. I don't know. So, anything's possible, you guys. I dealt with infertility for 5 years, so that's why I didn't have him until I was like 30. Yeah, don't give up. There's people in their 40s that have family and stuff, so. Yeah, I lost one pregnancy starting in the second trimester. I was getting into the second trimester. And I was 29 at that time. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna log off. I was just reading your comments. I think I'm gonna log off and do some readings and stuff, okay? Have a good night, guys. Bye.